What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 with another video for you guys. So as you can tell, I'm in a car. That makes this a car vlog. You already know how it's going down when I come around. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. So today, interesting topic, kind of a response video. I'm responding to a series of videos by another YouTuber. One of you guys, or actually two of you guys, pointed him out in my previous video. I was alluding to his channel, Scotty Kilmer. That's Scotty Kilmer. Huge YouTuber. I think he's got over 3 million subscribers. Serious dude. I believe he was a mechanic or is a mechanic. The dude knows cars. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, he's legit. I'm sure he's licensed at some point or another to operate on cars. I've watched numerous of his videos. Really good guy, really knowledgeable about what he's talking about, with the exception of one particular area, and we're going to get into that shortly. So basically, yesterday, or in the previous video, we were talking about Dodge Challenger being the most reliable car in America. And I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that. I mean, according to Consumer Reports ratings, the Dodge Challenger is the most reliable car in America. And that is over any Ford product, Chevy, Lincoln, Cadillac, any American car that you can think of. The Dodge Challenger, the muscle car, the 840 horsepower demon, that car is the most reliable car in America. And I'm not making this up. You guys have stated this with the reports and everything. So when you look at reports such as that, it's obvious that Dodge has been doing something right. And even Chrysler has moved up to number 19, if I'm not mistaken, for the most reliable vehicles in the United States, or in the world at this point. In the world, excuse me. They moved up to number 19 or 18, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that was pushed up by the Chrysler 300, the big boy. You know, that's basically a Charger, but in the Chrysler 300 platform, right? So Chrysler has moved up and become more reliable. Ram has moved up and become more reliable. The whole FCA platform has moved up and become more reliable. Let's just keep it real here. So when you look at that and you look at the results, you have to come to the understanding that they're not just taking these results and these numbers and figures and surveys and things of that sort over the period of 1 year. And I say that to say it's not like these people are voting based off of one generation. One trim. You know, the SRT is reliable, but the RTs aren't. The 5.7s are reliable, but the 3.6s are not. I'm saying that to say the reports and the statistics and the numbers, the surveys, they're an amalgamation of numbers, an amalgamation of years of data that's been put together and pulled together to come to the conclusion that we're at now, right? So it's not like Dodge just happened to have a really good year and as a result we're number 8 on most reliable cars. No, this is years and years of reports, years and years of data that's been taken on our cars. And when I say our, I'm talking about FCA, that's been taken on our cars that have allowed these people to arrive at the conclusion that we're at now, right? Scotty Kilmer, like I said, huge YouTuber. I watch his videos. No hate, no shade or whatsoever being thrown at him. Hates Dodge. He's got over, let's just keep it real here. I'm going to give you some accurate information. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, well over 15 videos with the title, Why You Shouldn't Drive a Dodge as a Daily, Why You Shouldn't Buy a Dodge, Top 5 trucks that won't last over 100,000 miles, and we're going to get over it. We're going to get into that. Never daily drive this car, and it's got a picture of a Charger. The Dodge is the worst car in America. Here's why Dodge Rams are crap. He hates Dodge. And his reasons for hating Dodge are some of the reasons that I mentioned in my previous video. He talks about the transmission giving out. He talks about the longevity of the cars. He talks about how everything on the interior and under the hood is plastic. And in conjunction with what he's saying and what we now know, it just doesn't add up. Now, I assume that he's a very learned, intelligent man as it pertains to cars, and I'm sure he can get under the hood and do a hell of a lot more than I can. So I'm not even going to get into that. That's not my realm. That's not my area of expertise, so I'm not even going to get into that. But he just made a video a couple days ago basically talking about the Dodge Challenger and how it's a terrible car. Well, to his point, he was talking about the situation that happened where Dodge somehow or another mistakenly put the wrong wheels on the SRTs, which was stupid on Dodge's part. I don't understand how they did that. Huge blunder. But his previous videos, literally every single one, from the Charger to the Challenger to the Ram to the Chrysler 300, has been how FCA makes terrible cars. The reason he cites: transmission, plastic interior and exterior, basically plastic parts that have been put in our cars to make them run, plastic parts that you would expect to go out at some point. What else here? I'm reading off of a list. Basically just a lack of high-end quality parts that have been put in our cars to essentially make our cars run. That's what he was stating. He was stating that our cars are put together by plastic parts. We have bad transmissions. They tend to go out fairly soon. He listed the Dodge Ram as one of the trucks that would never make it over 100,000 miles. Worst trucks to, well, I think the title of the video was Worst Trucks in America That Likely Won't Make It 100,000 Miles. And of course, the Ram was literally the thumbnail. So my response to that is, like I said, all of the reports as far as the Challenger is concerned, and I would assume the Charger too, because the platforms are so similar, the reports have been taken over a long period of time, right? These aren't just surveys that were done within the last 6 months or the last year or the last iteration, as in the 2019s, right? These reports and ratings were taken over a very long period of time. I would say couple years max, and maybe we can even go as far as to say this generation. So let's start at 2015 to now, because that's the current generation that we're in right now, right? Of course, like I said, when Dodge Charger and the Challenger first came out, the Hellcat were having a lot of engine issues. The bearings were going out. They were going bad a lot sooner than they were supposed to, obviously. And a lot of people were having to take their cars in and under manufacturer warranty get those bearings replaced and the engine taken care of. Understandable. I mean, this is uncharted territory, putting that much power in a car that can be purchased just at any Dodge dealership. Uncharted territory. Understandable, so they fixed that. They rectified that. They took care of it. No issues there whatsoever. Over the years, they've made incremental changes, whether it's interior, whether it's the software, whether it's the performance, whether it's the performance parts. They've made incremental changes to the platform to make it what it is today. And ultimately a top 10 most reliable car in the America, right? Or in the world, I should say. And I've had no issues with this car whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I've had no issues with the transmission. I've had no issues with the overall performance of the car. And like I said, the interior, this is not a Maserati or Mercedes-Benz by any means. You know what you're getting into when you buy one of these cars. As far as I'm concerned, the interior is perfectly fine. I think it's great. There are some plastic parts, plastic bits and bobs here and there, but what car doesn't have? I mean, even the AMG S63 has plastic vents and fan components too. I mean, every car has plastic to some degree or another, so that's negligent. He says that the daily driver or the Dodge Charger is not a good daily driver. It's not a family car. It's more of a toy, a car that you would drive on the weekends and play with. Now, that may be the case for the SRTs. That may be the case for the Scat Packs, the RTs, the Hellcats. Understandable so. But the V6 platform, the 3.6 liter Pentastar platform, has always stood the test of time as a great daily driver. And you and I have talked about this in previous videos, where there are people who are driving Dodge Chargers right now that don't know anything about Dodge or the history of Dodge, or, you know, as a fanboy, I know a lot about Dodge that extends further than just the car that I own, right? I can talk about Dodge all day long, and as well you can too. There are people that drive Dodge Chargers that don't know a single damn thing about Dodge, other than it's a great daily driver. It's a great car to drive on a daily basis. It's 4-door, it's got a huge trunk, it's spacious, and it works. So that argument is null and void. He talks about the Ram. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Ram, but the Ram has actually won back-to-back Motor Trend awards for its reliability and for its overall construction. Now, I'm not familiar with the Motor Trend Award. I don't know the criteria and the requirements that goes into such an award. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit up here and make it seem like, you know, I know what it takes to win a Motor Trend Award. But if these trucks were as bad as Scotty is saying, I can't imagine them winning anything. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine them winning any award, let alone back-to-back. And the Motor Trend Award, I've actually heard of that award a couple times before. And I've heard of other manufacturers such as the Chevy Silverado winning that award. And the fact that the Ram, right, not Dodge Ram, the Ram has won that back-to-back in 18 and 19 is saying something. That's a big deal if you ask me. Ultimately, this video is just kind of a question as to why does he as far as Scotty Kilmer is concerned, and not just him, but why does he, as well as other people, look so far down or look down on American manufacturers as much as they do? I mean, I can understand in the past, American manufacturers have gotten bad raps. You know what I'm saying? They've gotten bad raps about performance, reliability, and just overall value as far as our cars is concerned. And that includes Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, Chevy. Everyone knows that these are not the most reliable cars historically. I mean, everybody has always said that they're big, they're clunky, they're expensive, and they're gas guzzling, right? Understandable. Given the fact that we live in a time where the V6 is prevailing, the twin turbo V6, and even electric engine is starting to prevail. The last thing that any modern day consumer would look to is a big hunky V8. I can understand that. But the reality of the situation is that was then and this is now. Quality has improved so much. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you took a Dodge Avenger and you compared it to the Dart, it's night and day. And I say that to say that was Dodge then in the 90s, early 2000s, and this is Dodge now. The quality, the quality control aspect of automobiles nowadays is so high. I just wanted to address Scotty Kilmer in this particular video because he's made so many videos kind of shaming Dodge for their lack of ingenuity, for their lack of creativity, and just ultimately their lack of reliability. And I'm here to say that was then and this is now. The future is bright for Dodge. The future is bright for FCA. And, you know, I'm going to be a part of this line for quite some time, and I don't have any reasons or reservations of doing that or any reasons to change, I would say, right? You know, you can go and watch his videos and watch his overall perspective. Obviously, he's a mechanic. I'm not. So he can get into the nooks and crannies and just kind of the minutia as far as, you know, the bits and bobs about Dodge that he doesn't like, getting under the hood, the engine, performance, suspension, transmission, things of that sort. You know, I didn't watch each and every last one of those videos taking notes, but at the same time, what I can speak on is from personal experience. And from a personal experience perspective, I've had no issues with my car, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys have not as well. I mean, just the standard is different these days. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, comment, talk to your boy. I'll probably link one or two of his videos in this description just so you guys get kind of an overall feel for his mindset towards Dodge. He hates Dodge. He puts it right in the title. He doesn't even hide it. Title and thumbnail. So you already know what time it is. I mean, he stated that this is the end of the muscle car age. I mean, given the fact that the V6, the twin turbo V6 has taken over as it has, he stated that this is the end of the muscle car age. And he obviously put a Dodge Challenger on there because, you know, the Challenger kind of signifies the muscle car age. But with all that being said, guys, like, subscribe, comment, talk to your boy. Let's, you know, let's talk this out a little bit. I mean, things have changed. This isn't the old Dodge that we're used to. This isn't the old Dodge that our aunts and uncles and grandfathers drove at one point or another. Things have changed. The quality control aspect has changed, and the future's bright for us. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.